Your review, so I'm gonna react to John Cena in 27 and not in 2007. Incredible.
When it comes to sports, every all-time great athlete has that 1 year. That 1 year where they're no doubt at their absolute best. The 1 year where they're at the top of their game and were straight untouchable. Looking back in history, Jordan had 1993, Tom Brady had 2007, Messi had 2012, and Ronaldo had 2013. These were the years where the athletes reached legendary status. And it's no different in the world of professional wrestling. Every wrestler has that 1 year that just becomes synonymous with them. Austin had 1998, Triple H had 2000, Brock had 2002, and John Cena had 2007.
Let's not forget about Edge. Edge had to 2006. He was fire. He was valid in 2006. Made a name for himself. But John Cena in 2007, he was fire. He was carrying that company.
John Cena in 2007 was just different. This man was on a mission. It was his third year carrying the WWE on his back, and he carried that shit like his life depended on it. Cena's 07 is one of the most impressive years by any top kind of wrestling ever, in my opinion. What John Cena did in 07, the streets will never ever forget. Once he dropped the Marine in late 06 and started saluting every 2 seconds and wearing camouflage, the game was changed. Cena entering 07.
He low-key stopped with the chain gang shit in 2006, bro. In the middle of 2006, he stopped with that the chain gang gimmick and started like doing like this and shit, doing salute and wearing camouflage in late 2006.
Had all eyes on him. This man had a whole generation convinced he was a part-time Marine slash rapper slash trapper slash bad bitch snatcher and was the reigning WWE champion. The whole world was watching John Cena, and 2007 became his year. It became the year where John Cena officially became a legend. We begin in January. To start off the year, Cena found himself in a feud against Umaga. The Samoan bulldozer Umaga was genuinely terrifying as a kid. I mean, this man had face tattoos, would give wrestlers concussions with his
It wasn't face tattoos, it was face paint.
ass, and then casually stabbed him in the throat with his thumb. This man was truly a savage. After finessing a win at New Year's Revolution,
And I didn't like the Samoan Spike. I didn't really like the Samoan Spike. I wasn't a fan of that finish, bro.
Cena had a rematch against Umaga at the Royal Rumble, a last man standing match for the WWE Championship. And yo, on that night, these two went out there and they just went mental. John Cena in his early years before the WWE went PG was a god when it came to no DQ matches. This man would bleed for the industry, and this match with Umaga was no different. They killed each other. Umaga was destroying Cena so bad it looked like Cena was actually going to die. Announce tables were being broken, monitors getting thrown around, steel steps. There was more blood in this match than when it's your girl's time of the month. It was truly a massacre, and it was awesome. It looked like Umaga had caught a body, and there was no way Cena would ever be able to put Umaga out for the 10 count. But after trying everything and anything, after destroying the ring and the ringside area, he resorted
Yeah, that match was crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
to doing this, and he finally did it. After 30 minutes of war, Cena was standing there with the title, and everyone knew right then and there that this was no doubt John Cena's greatest performance ever. Going into this show, everyone thought this match was gonna be whatever, just an average match, a random gimmick match. It was only Umaga's second pay-per-view main event ever, and the critics were very hard on Cena at this point, but it didn't matter. It ended up being the greatest last man standing match ever, and this was just the beginning of 07 Cena. The next 2 months were dedicated to building up the WrestleMania 23 main event, John Cena versus Shawn Michaels. During the build, we got a match straight out of SVR 2007 where WrestleMania main event opponents had to team up. The build up to WrestleMania was awesome. It included John Cena and Shawn Michaels becoming tag team champions, and every week they were fighting each other, yet at the same time they were defending the titles. The typical, but can they coexist? By the time we arrived in April 2007, it was clear that Cena was reaching a new level, that this was going to be his defining run, and what John Cena pulled off in April just cemented him as one of the greatest of all time. Now for real, the shit that Cena pulled off in April of 07 needs to be studied in the history books. It was April 1st, it was WrestleMania 23, live from Detroit, Michigan, in front of 80,000 people. Cena drove into Ford Field in his Mustang, broke through that glass, and 6 months into his run as champion, put on a banger of a match against Shawn Michaels. 28 minutes of them just going off in a classic WrestleMania main event that told a great story and had so much drama. And at the end, Cena finally made Shawn Michaels tap out in the middle of the ring as 80,000 people went nuts. Yo, this was a great match. I remember watching this so many times as a kid when I had WrestleMania 23 on DVD. It had that big match feel. Dave Meltzer even gave it 4 stars. And to this day, it is still a universally loved match. And take this in. For many, main eventing WrestleMania and having a classic match against Shawn Michaels would definitely be the highlight of their year, let alone
They don't call Shawn Michaels Mr. Vet. They don't call HBK Shawn Michaels Mr. WrestleMania for nothing, bro. Like, it's for a reason, bro. He put on fire classic matches, bro. That's a fact.
It was just the beginning because 3 weeks later, they ran the match back. It was Monday Night Raw from London, England. It was John Cena versus Shawn Michaels one-on-one, one more time. And it was like, okay, you know what? This is going to be like any other Raw match. Maybe someone will interfere. Maybe there will be a disqualification. There will at least be some sort of angle in this match. Like, something will go down, right? Yo, the only thing that went down was them casually having the greatest match in Raw history. Just 3 weeks after main eventing WrestleMania, they ran the match back and had a 55-minute match on Raw, a match that many consider to be even better than their WrestleMania main event. This is no doubt the best TV match I've ever seen live in my life. It really felt like you were watching a playoff baseball game in extra innings, and that at any moment someone was going to walk up to the plate and boom, a walk-off home run was going to end it. They wrestled for 55 minutes, and at the end, Shawn finally won with a clutch sweet chin music where he just fell on Cena after hitting it, and 1, 2, 3, it was over. John Cena at this point was battling you can't wrestle allegations at the time. John Cena was looked at as a fraud by so many of the
John Cena could wrestle, you shitting me? Like,
fans. And he just pulled up like that scene in Gladiator and was like, "Are you not entertained?" And the crazy part was, that wasn't all for April. A WrestleMania Classic plus the best Raw match of all time wasn't enough, because just 6 days later, we got this. John Cena versus Shawn Michaels versus Edge versus Randy Orton for the WWE title, Backlash 2007. 4 of the biggest stars of all time. 4 of the guys who defined their childhoods in one match for the title. John Cena's 200-day reign on the line. It doesn't get better than this. You had Jim Ross losing his mind on commentary, so many close calls, so many moments where you thought it was over, finishers everywhere, and one of the best endings I've ever seen for any wrestling match. After Cena wipes out Rated RKO, he turns around and boom, sweet chin music. HBK falls down after hitting the kick, but the kick ends up having Cena land on Orton. And even though Cena was unconscious, he got the 1, 2, 3. 3 bangers, 3 classics in one month. I am telling
bro.
you, 07 John Cena.
Month of April, bro. That shit. John Cena got. John Cena. Give yourself a pat on the back, bro. You deserve that.
Was
I really needed a new roof for my home. New York Roofing got me that roof.
special.
He was special.
As the months went by, the run just got even more godly. In May and June, John Cena was stuck in a feud with the Great Khali. Khali by 07 could barely move. His knees were more done than Derrick Rose's knees. He had been in the company for over a year and had yet to have one decent match, but he ends up in a feud.
But, to be honest, I like that match that he had with The Undertaker back in 2006 in the summertime. That last man standing match. I thought that was, to be honest, in my opinion, I think that's Khali's best match, bro. That last man standing match was his best match, in my opinion. Let me know what y'all think.
And yo, I swear to God, Cena gave the Great Khali the 2 best matches of his career. Yo, just think how fucking mental that is, that John Cena somehow, someway in 07 made a feud with the Great Khali work. And let's be real, the ending of the second match where he lifted Khali for the FU and dropped him off the crane is an insane moment. But that's what made 07 Cena such a GOAT. It didn't matter what the night was, what the show was. It didn't matter if he was in the ring against a legend like Shawn Michaels or he was in a last man standing match with Umaga. It didn't matter if he was in the ring against someone who couldn't move. It didn't matter if it was a tag team match, a fatal 4-way, a fatal 5-way. Every single night Cena was out there putting in work, and this was John Cena in his 1989 Ric Flair bag. When the lights were on bright, when it was time, the true main eventer came out every single night and made sure that the fans got their money worth. And in July, he was up against Bobby Lashley in the main event of the Great American Bash. And this was a Bobby Lashley that is very different than the one that we know these days. This was a Bobby Lashley who had never main evented a pay-per-view prior to this. This was a Lashley who had just been wrestling for a little over 2 years. And once again, Cena...
Bobby Lashley always been good, bro. He always been good. He always been athletic. He always can wrestle, bro.
went out there as the
He always been valid, bro.
WWE champion in the main event with the company on his back just weeks after the Benoit tragedy. They had all this bad press on the WWE. It didn't matter. After an awesome powerhouse big-time main event, a match that honestly certified Bobby Lashley as the real deal.
And he left after this match. He left
Bobby
after,
with the
bro.
top rope FU and retained his title. And he just proved it. It didn't matter who his opponent was. John Cena was going to deliver. Every pay-per-view, Cena was main eventing and Cena was defending. There were no off nights. He was on Raw. He was even on SmackDown every now and then. He was on Saturday night's main event. He just simply was the man, and his time was now, and it was such a fun time to be a fan. Like, respect to Roman Reigns and what he's been doing for the past 2 years, but yo, when I look back at what Cena was doing every single week, this guy was just a different breed. And his final feud of 07 began in August. 3 years after they first interacted on screen, 5 years from the debut, we finally got the John Cena versus Randy Orton feud. The SmackDown vs. Raw intro video from 2004 was finally coming to life. Cena had been champion for 11 months, the longest reign in 2 decades in the WWE, and it was going to be on the line for the first time ever against Randy Orton at SummerSlam 07. I remember this match like it was yesterday. I begged my parents to order the show on pay-per-view. I begged them, like, please, can you spend your $40 because I need to see Cena beat Randy Orton. I had all my friends over, I had all my cousins over, and all like 10 of us were cheering for Cena, and this main event was so electric, it was so captivating, it was such a simple but awesome match. I'll never forget when Randy hit him with the RKO and everyone's heart just dropped, like, oh, this is it, it's over, the year reign is over. But nah, Cena one last time came through and hit him with the FU out of nowhere and walked out of SummerSlam 07, still the WWE champion. I'll never forget that night, me and my friends and my family just bonding over the fact that John Cena came clutch. There was no better feeling than seeing Cena retain. I didn't know anybody that was a wrestling fan at this time, anyone that was my age that wasn't a John Cena fan. By September and October of 07, his feud with Randy Orton was just getting hotter and hotter. It eventually became a blood feud which included Cena getting disqualified at Unforgiven, Orton handcuffing Cena to the ring and beating his dad's ass in front of him, and it was all going to lead to one final encounter. No Mercy, Cena versus Orton, last man standing. There was so much hype going into this match. No Mercy was definitely going to be bought on pay-per-view. This was such a special feeling. Like, yo, Cena's been champion for over a year. He's had this crazy run in 07 that even as kids, we knew, like, yo, we were watching something special. And now it's going to be his toughest test. It was going to be against his menace. It was going to be against Randy Orton in a match where there are no rules. But we never got it. Cena's amazing title run and his legendary 07 run ended a week before No Mercy due to injury. He was champion for 380 days, and it ended due to a shoulder injury. I am not lying when I'm telling you this was the saddest day
Never even lost the title
of my 9-year-old life. One of the greatest runs of all time, ending due to injury. John Cena in 2007 was just different. This whole run holds a special place in my heart because John Cena was my guy. He was always my guy, and witnessing this run from beginning to end was just special. And even looking back at it, the things he was able to do against some of the talent he was up against, the work that he put in, it was legendary. This was the year that Cena truly became the man. In 05, he had a great run when he first became champion, but they protected him. You know, he was up against like Jericho and Angle, and in 06, he was mostly chasing the belt. But 07 was when he became the guy. This was when they gave him the belt and said, yo, be our Ric Flair, pretend this is the 90s, and just carry this damn territory. And did he ever? No doubt one of the most impressive calendar years a wrestler has ever had. One of the best title reigns ever, and I'm so glad that I got to witness this live. But yeah, John Cena in 07 was just different. Truly one of the greatest of all time. And what a year it was to be alive. In the comments down below, let me know your favorite memory of 2007 John Cena, whatever it is. For me personally, it has to be that SummerSlam 07 match, just because I genuinely thought that Randy Orton was gonna finesse a win.
So, yeah, bro, that's the video on Wrestling Gift. Made this video about John Cena. Yo, I ain't gonna lie, John Cena is a future Hall of Famer, bro. He's gonna be in the Hall of Fame one of these days, bro. Like, John Cena be having classic matches, bro. Likes of Edge, Randy Orton, fucking Shawn Michaels, AJ Styles, Kurt Angle. Who else? JBL, bro. Fucking who else? CM Punk. Like Cesaro, like list goes on and on and on, bro. Like John Cena, he's the GOAT. He's one of the GOATs, bro. So yeah, bro, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Y'all know the vibes. If you're just checking out, you are.